The middle class was supposed to be the goal. Stable job, nice house, two cars, annual vacation, retirement account, college fund, responsible, respectable, safe. But here's what almost no one talks about. The middle class can become a financial trap. Not because it's bad, because it's comfortable, and comfort hides fragility. Let's define what I mean. The middle class trap isn't about income level, it's about structure. You earn enough to live well, but not enough to feel free. You have too much to feel poor, but not enough to feel secure. You're stable, but exposed. That's the trap. From the outside, it looks like success. From the inside, it often feels tight. Mortgage, car payments, insurance, subscriptions, childcare, student loans, property taxes. Your income supports a lifestyle that requires continued income. If the paycheck stops, everything wobbles. That's not wealth, that's maintenance. Let's break this down structurally. The middle class is built around earned income, salary, wages, occasional bonuses. But wealth is built around owned assets, equity, businesses, cash-flowing investments, appreciating holdings. If most of your financial life depends on your job, you're income reliant. And income reliance is fragile. The trap happens slowly. You graduate, you get a job, you upgrade apartments, you finance a car, you move into a house, you furnish it, you increase fixed expenses, your lifestyle expands to match your income. Every raise increases your standard of living, but rarely your level of ownership. That's the quiet problem. Income rises, expenses rise with it. The gap stays small, and wealth is built in the gap. No gap, no capital. No capital, no assets. No assets, no leverage. Now here's the uncomfortable part. The middle class often finances liabilities before assets, a larger home before investments grow, a nicer car before equity builds, lifestyle upgrades before ownership expands. The house feels like an asset, but if it doesn't produce income, it primarily produces expenses. Mortgage, maintenance, taxes, insurance. It may appreciate over time, but it doesn't generate cash flow, and appreciation alone doesn't pay bills. Meanwhile, productive assets, like diversified funds tracking the S&P 500, quietly compound for those who consistently invest. The trap isn't owning a home. The trap is prioritizing consumption-based assets before income-producing ones. Let's talk about pressure. Middle-class life often has high fixed costs. Fixed costs create financial rigidity. When your monthly obligations are high, your flexibility is low. You can't take career risks. You can't pivot industries easily. You can't reduce income temporarily to build something because your burn rate demands stability. That's not freedom. That's golden handcuffs. And golden handcuffs feel comfortable until something unexpected happens. Layoff, health issue, economic downturn, industry shift. If your entire structure depends on steady income, disruption becomes crisis. Now here's the psychological layer. The middle class optimizes for visible success. Good schools, nice neighborhood, reliable car, social proof of stability. And there's nothing wrong with those goals. But when visibility outruns ownership, fragility grows beneath the surface. Because visible success is funded by earned income. Invisible wealth is funded by owned assets. Ask yourself this: if you stop working tomorrow, how long could your current lifestyle continue? That answer reveals whether you have wealth or just middle-class stability. Now let's zoom out. Imagine two families earning $120,000 annually. Family A spends $110,000, maximizes lifestyle, invests minimally, high fixed expenses. Family B spends $80,000, invests aggressively, builds income-producing assets, keeps fixed costs controlled. 10 years later, who has options? Family B, because they built ownership before upgrading lifestyle. That's the difference. The middle-class trap convinces you that income growth equals financial progress. But income growth without asset growth equals lifestyle inflation. Lifestyle inflation feels like progress, but it's often just a larger treadmill. Now let's address retirement, Many middle-class households rely heavily on retirement accounts funded through payroll deductions. That's good, but if retirement accounts are the only assets and there's no additional ownership, flexibility remains limited. Retirement accounts grow slowly and are often restricted until certain ages. True leverage often comes from diversified ownership: businesses, equity stakes, rental properties, scalable assets. The trap is believing that a single pathway to retirement equals wealth. It may equal stability, but not necessarily freedom. Let's talk about time. Middle-class life consumes time. Long commutes, full work weeks, weekend recovery, family obligations, house maintenance. There's little bandwidth left to build additional income streams, so the job remains the central engine. And when one engine powers everything, risk remains concentrated. That's why escaping the trap isn't about abandoning the middle class. It's about restructuring it. You don't need to reject stability. You need to layer ownership on top of it. Use income to acquire assets. Use raises to expand investment rates. Use bonuses to buy ownership, not just upgrades. Keep lifestyle growth slower than income growth. Expand the gap. Protect the gap. Invest the gap. Over time, the gap becomes leverage, and leverage becomes freedom. Here's another powerful shift. Lower fixed expenses increase opportunity. When your baseline monthly cost is manageable, you gain flexibility. Flexibility allows risk. Risk allows growth. Growth allows asset accumulation. High fixed expenses eliminate flexibility. And without flexibility, you stay locked in. Now here's the part nobody likes. Escaping the middle-class trap often requires delayed gratification, driving the paid-off car longer, living below what you qualify for, investing before upgrading, building assets quietly. It's not flashy, but it compounds. The middle-class trap isn't about being average. It's about being comfortable enough to stop pushing for ownership. Comfort slows urgency. Urgency builds leverage, and leverage builds wealth. So here's the shift. Stop measuring success by income level. Measure it by asset ownership. Stop asking, how much do we make? Start asking, how much do we own that works without us? Because income provides lifestyle. Assets provide options, and options are the true definition of wealth. The middle class isn't the enemy, but complacency is. Stability without ownership is fragile. Stability with ownership is powerful. Build the ownership, and the trap disappears.